DreamHack's doing the bulk of it, and forget I even mentioned the Ziphex. There we go, he does get it eventually. 4 kills on
It
the
was
board
a
for
nice and fun game against North as well, because yeah, it's my old team, and I just enjoyed winning, of course. We played really well. It was my first map since the changes, so yeah, we just played good and had a good teamwork.
Dangerous game right now, but the smoke denies his route. He was thinking maybe he could fall back into construction. Now he's going to need these crisp AK headshots, and he starts off with the first one, hits the second. MSL's low. New Jersey! Yugi! 7.
Of course, it's sad to lose a game to G2. I remember I had a really rough game, but I can feel we are improving game by game, so yeah, I'm just happy about that.
The lower tunnels, to me, doesn't scream that this is a commitment, and no, it's not. Jax tries to hop down into CT, and he does get down, but it's only his corpse, Dupree.
I'm thinking it's gonna be fun to play against NIP. We did it once, and it was Navi's first official with us, and we lost on train, but yeah, I'm confident going into the match. Yeah, I have played a lot individually. I just hope it shows on the server. It's gonna be a close one, maybe 2-1 for us. Let's hope for some great Counter-Strike NIP. See you on the server.
Now, we were just talking about Danish super teams. There were a lot of options, and actually Yugi being one of them. We look at him now as one of the star performers that never quite, I think, shined as bright as he could. Now he's been put in a pretty big situation here. I mean, Jacob, if I call him the EU Kusta, is that too much?
No, I think that's spot on. I think it's a player that never really fulfilled his potential. I think 3 years ago, a lot of us were thinking to ourselves, this guy could be potentially one of the best AWP players, not only in Denmark, but in the entire world. And ever since, it's just been steadily going downwards. So I guess it's the same for Kusta, you know. That being said, though, Kusta is finding his footing, you know, as a rifle player. I think he's doing a good job in NA, whereas for Yugi, I still need to see more from him. Like, I like what he's saying. I like what his, you know, the whole mentality coming into Astralis. There's a last chance of actually proving the world that he can still be a great player, but for now it's not really going too well, and that's the problem. Let's be honest.
Well, look, man, we talk about the Ninjas Pyjamas all the time, but I don't really want to just jump right into that just yet. I want to look at this a little bit further, Matthew, because obviously with the news that broke about 2 hours ago that Snappy is set to join Contact, this creates a very interesting dynamic in a matchup itself. What do you think, as former players, how that all kind of pans out in the server? Do you just play a pickup game? Do you just kind of pick it up where it is?
Well, this is where the conversation gets very interesting, because I thought that Astralis would approach these games, as you just said, puggy, chaotic, let's have some fun. After all, we're talented players, we play simple Counter-Strike. But actually, last week during Blast, they played all the tactical maps. They went into Train, they went into Nuke, they actually picked into it. So they made life very difficult for themselves. They tried to play they tried to play the tactical maps. So I'm not exactly sure what's the game plan, but yes, the situation is weird, and that's the euphemism to say. Snappy apparently on his way somewhere else. Contact is the name that was mentioned. Estetag waiting to jump in. So if there ever was a time to beat Astralis and then put it on your resume that you actually beat Astralis, and just let's not mention the lineup, no one's going to ask you, you can just say you beat Astralis, right? That would be now. That could be now, and NIP, they have that opportunity.
Yeah, and it does seem like that is kind of the situation the Astralis have left themselves in. Now we shift a little bit. We can move around a little bit now. I feel a little bit more comfortable now that we've addressed what is the contact between Snappy and Astralis, that is. And we continue to look at the NIP side, the Ninjas of Pyjamas themselves. They've shown a little bit of form, but at the end of the day, this is a team that, well, they're going to be counting their blessings, I suppose. Twist, Rez, Knock, Flopsky, and Hampus. Hampus being the newest addition. And of course, if you look at his HLTV.org page here for this matchup, he's got quite the mohawk. Something you probably wish you had, huh, Jacob?
Yeah, I really wish. I think NIP, we talked about them yesterday. It's the team that is right now building for the future. They're doing a really, really good job at finding the right talents. They have Fred being the coach, and I think he's 100% invested into making, make NIP great again, right? It's a lineup filled with young prospects, a lineup that is slowly but surely getting better game by game. We're watching now. They've finally brought in a dedicated in-game leader, and I think that was the one last missing piece they needed. Hampus, if he can pick up that role and be good enough as an in-game leader for NIP, I think we have a lineup here that potentially could be a top 5 team within half a year, maybe even a year.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we look at this and we continue to look at this, and I think that this is a lineup that is the future of Swedish Counter-Strike. Whether you agree or not, Maniac, that's up to you. But I'm looking at players like Knock. I'm looking at a guy like Hampus, who's been brought in for a reason. Not some of the old guard, which is, weirdly enough, turning out to be players like Rez.
Yeah, you know what, Tristan? I agree with you. Sometimes it happens. I do agree with you. I think that Plowski, Nog, Hampus, they're the future for the Swedish Counter-Strike now. The challenge is also for Rez and Twist to be able to reinvent themselves and become the mentors, become the veterans, become the ones with experience. But I just wanted to quickly touch upon the threat topic. I think it's a very interesting one. And this period of time that we're having right now, online Counter-Strike, remote, with all the situation, he can talk a lot, he can help them a lot. This is a key moment for him to make sure that whenever he cannot do that anymore, because, you know, fingers crossed, there's going to be a point where we all see each other and we go back to these LAN events that we all missed. He needs to make sure that they will be able to do without him during the game. It's all good and dandy to prepare the game plan, you prepare with them, you help them with the practice. He won't be able to have that much impact when they go to a LAN event. So now he needs to breed them, he needs to mentor them, he needs to help them manage themselves, their expectations, their attitude, their point of views during the game. And that's a huge challenge, but I think he's the man for the job.
It's a fantastic point. It's a fantastic point. And that's also why I said, you know, half a year to a year, because I think you're right, Maniac. When they go back into the LAN environment, they once again have to readjust. They once again have to let Hampus, you know, run the teams and figure out how he can be impactful as an in-game leader. So you're spot on. It's looking good for Threat right now, but still NIP, there's still half a year before you get the full potential out of all these players.
I just want to clarify that this below me, Lekro's not actually dead. Okay, so let's just not let's not get that out there. So it's kind of like the Force is in jail thing. He's not actually in jail, never was. What we will do is talk about the Ninjas of Pyjamas, and there's no Force in sight.
The game against Vitality, the first map Vertigo, like the scores said one thing, but I think that it was much more close than the score said. Like there were some close rounds and some clutches we should have won. So that the Vertigo game, it could have been anyone's game.
It is a man advantage for NIP. Hampus here, gonna deal with Apex, hopping down, trying to get another fight at short side, and ZywOo get it done with 20 seconds left on this clock and an off-white.
Second map, Dust2, we just got, they just run over us. We had no chance. The Navi game, it was really tough, but like the Vitality game, the score didn't tell the whole story. Like the overpass game, it was so many close rounds. Like we could have easily got an overpass, I think.
1v3, the kit is stuck, and he does manage to get it. Deals with electronic, but still 2 players left to find. Lots of pressure on Plowski, but a nice response and simple. Not a man who's going to overpeak you. He's underneath, using spinning round, spin to win, baby. It's simple.
The second map, New, it was. We lost 16-14, and it was just a rough game. The ENCE game with the knife through our throat, it was like we felt no pressure. Like when we got a good start on train, like I started feeling very confident that we would take the whole map. I think it was pretty one-sided to us, I would say.
Control allows ENCE to start to move back in. Nork and Hampus left in a 2-on-2, and Nork, he is going to deliver.
And on the second map, Inferno, it was. Yeah, we lost both pistols, so we had bad starts on both halves. We were down 8-1 and got 8-7, I think. And when on the overtime, I think like it was also rough. Like as CT, we played good, I think, but we lost 2 rounds as CT on the overtime. And I'm just happy we pulled up the win. Playing Astralis now, it will be very interesting to like, because now we can't really analyze how they play since they have 2 new players. So it will be very interesting to see like how they set up. They will. Of course, be a very strong team, but I think without Glaive and Sypex, who has been there for so long, like I think they might lose some stability, and it might be our chance to hit them while they're down. It's gonna be a brawl.
Astralis, Ninjas of Pyjamas, and we do have the maps. We actually do have the vetoes already decided. Everything's already determined, not predetermined. That would mean that it is scripted, but we can show you what maps to expect here between these 2 teams. And again, in a lower bracket matchup, every single one of these maps, every single one of these rounds counts. And let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. We've got Train, we've got Nuke, and we've got Overpass. It's going to be Astralis picking the CT side on the start of Train.
Good luck.
Again.
Good luck.
Look at these technical maps again. Poor Astralis guys, they're trying to make life so hard. It's like playing Counter-Strike with when you can check the level at the beginning of a new game, and you have beginner, normal, and then you have nightmare at the top. And it's just like, we're just gonna play nightmare mode. Let's play all the tactical maps with our roster that's not really a roster. But okay, fine. I mean,
So-
that's what they decide.
I'm
So
incredibly
basically
surprised.
matchmaking, right?
Basically,
Like, help.
like why wouldn't you go for a map pick like Inferno? As many is saying, right? That's a map where you can relatively easy slot in your players. You can relatively easy make a guy like Snappy feel comfortable. Same goes on for Yugi. It's a map that everyone universally plays at a high level. Instead, you go for Nuke. We saw how bad it went for them when they played Nuke the last time around. CT side Nuke Maniac. It's so tough. You have to be good at rotation. You have to be good at communication. You have to have an understanding for each other and the move patterns. And overall, Nuke is probably the toughest map for a team to play with two stand-ins. So yes, I know they've had a lot of success on it, and I know they have a good idea of how to play the map, but either this is Astralis dropping the ball, or it's Astralis who have done a little bit of practice and actually feel comfortable on a map like Nuke. And in that case, they can maybe show us the way wrong, but judging from the outside of the book right here, it's not looking good at all for Astralis.
Or this is an Astralis that said, hey, you know what? Let's boogie. Let's party right here, right now. Maniac, what's your take on that, I guess, MO, considering all the things that are going on within the roster and all the moves around this?
I mean, in French, we have a saying that says, if you have no chance, just grab it. You know, so maybe that's the way Astralis go for it. They have no
How
chance,
do we
they
say
grab
it in
it.
French, though?
T'as aucune chance, alors saisis-la.
Okay, now I know. I really don't remember. But that's pretty good. It's good nonetheless. We got our maps. We've got the things that we need. We also need you to participate in the Twitch chat using your favorite hashtags to back up your favorite teams here. Get your votes in. It's going to be hashtag Astralis or hashtag NIP. One of these teams is going to get nipped in the butt. They're going to be sent out. This is an elimination game in a best of 3 more than that. We're going to go into a quick break. We come back. We got Train. We got Nuke. We got a little bit of Overpass if we're lucky. But this is the DreamHack Master Spring 2020.
Flashbang's effective. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Not quite yet. They haven't won, but of course nobody's won this best of 3. We haven't even started it yet. Astralis taking on the Ninjas of Pyjamas. We're ready to get it going. We know our maps. It's going to be Train, Nuke, and then Overpass should we need that third. My name is Trace. Welcome back, everybody. I got Jacob and Matthew here with me. We're ready to tally up the votes as well from the Twitch chat, as well as get into the game, because we asked you to participate. We gave you the green light. We gave you the go signal to spam your hearts away. And what were the desires of Twitch chat today? I do wonder. I have to side that they probably chose Astralis. No, they didn't. My goodness, I'm wrong. What do you guys think?
Smart. Twitch chat is super, super smart. Right, Maniac?
They are very smart.
Well, let's just piggyback on that a second, really kind of put our careers out there on the line here. And Jacob, let's kind of expand on what you mean when you say that Twitch chat, moreover, the viewer is smart.
I think that Astralis right now is facing a very difficult time. You see some of the players coming out there and they're feeling frustrated on the social medias. I can really understand it. I can really, try to appreciate it. I can really try to put myself in their position. But fact of the matter is that we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for them crying out loud about the rough situations, even though we do understand it. It's a game. You have to win the games. And right now, Astralis are not winning anything. And that's just the way it is. Today, they're not going to win anything either. There will be a lot of Danish people out there who's going to hate me for saying this, but Astralis is just not looking good right now. They're looking like a team that is very deflated. They're looking like a team that they're ready to go on a vacation. NIP is a good team. NIP is building for the future. NIP has a great chance of making it far in DreamHack Masters right here, and Astralis is not going to be the team to stop them. It's going to be a 2-0 NIP, and I'm afraid Astralis won't even get double digits unless they step it up massively.
Wow, so he's not only said, Matthew, he's not only said here, like, they're not going to get double digits, but they're also going to lose. Jesus, my God.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit over the top, isn't it? I have to side with Jacob. This is going to be a nip prediction for me. I think they're on the rise right now. They're figuring out their roles. They have a good atmosphere, a good momentum behind them. The map pool of this whole BO3 is great for NIP, whereas I still do not really pierce the logic of Astralis, but obviously they know things I don't. So NIP, for me, will definitely take that serious. Otherwise, it would require a monstrous performance from the individuals of Astralis, because it's not going to be through the protocols, it's not going to be through the crazy tactics that they will win. It would be through insane individual plays. We know they can do it, we know they have the power for it, but I'm still going to go with NIP.
Okay, well, I think that you both could be onto something. I have to give a prediction as well, as per tradition, if you will. And I have to look at this and I have to say, okay, yeah, the Ninjas of Pyjamas, more cohesive actual team, but no, I'm going to pick Astralis, because what do they have to lose? Moreover, how can NIP know what they're going to do if Astralis don't know what they're going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be one of those situations, they just throw it all out there.
And that's the problem, right? Because Astralis is still trying to approach this game as a team that knows exactly what they're doing. They're playing Nuke, they're playing Train, they're playing Overpass. Best of luck against NIP. I'm afraid it's not going to work out for you boys. I really want them to. I think Device, he can be that one player with Dupree as well going crazy, but they need to show it, and they need to show it now.
Yes, which is something that we need to do as well. Thank you, gentlemen. I will get back to you, and I will also answer the question for you, Jacob. Twitch chat freaking rocks, man. So let's bring in our commentators. Not a big deal. We're going to go ahead and bring in Harry, read the room, Russell, and of course, Hugo Byron. Now, I see you're in the server. We talked about conditions yesterday, and I think right away, Harry, I'd just let you talk about what's going on inside the server, some of the tick rate that you feel right now.
Oh man, Trace, I can feel all 128 ticks down here on the sidelines. Once again, I got all these little items. I spawned with my knife. I got everything I could possibly need. I'm feeling good. Hugo, how you doing, man? I didn't recognize whatever map you're on. But how you feeling?
It's pretty blue out here, Harry. It's pretty blue. Yeah, I don't know. We're deep underwater, I guess, and that's probably where Astralis are right now as well. They feel like they're drowning, Harry. They feel like they're running out of oxygen. Because I mean, yeah, I just look at the results of this team recently. It's not the Astralis we know and love. It's not how they started the year. It's not how they ended 2019. And so, really, I hope they can step it back up. But in the same vein, this is where NIP can come alive and show us what they're doing. Show us the results of this hard work. They brought Hampus into this lineup. Clearly, this team is moving fast, moving forward fast. So let's hope that can get shown today in the server.
Wow, we don't have to wait long, Hugo. We're already getting into the swing of things here. And yeah, you've said a bunch of words. Now I guess it's my turn. The first map going to be Train. It's NIP taking on Astralis. And you can see the Betway odds. They are also leading this one in favor of NIP. They are siding with Maniac and Pimp here, who have both said that they feel the Swedes are a team on the rise. And Astralis right now, yeah, we haven't really seen... I mean, obviously, we haven't seen the Astralis of old, right? Like, you think about the changes this team's gone through, what they've had to adapt to in such a short space of time. I don't think there's much that we can put on this team right now. But it's a sad statement indeed. You know, when you talk about this legendary squad in such a negative manner.
I
pissed
almost
around underway, Hugo.
Yeah, just a quick one. I almost, you know, in a way, hope that Astralis lose this because they said they want to take a vacation after this. I think that would be so valuable just to the players, to everyone inside of this team, and hopefully they can come back in fresh face after. Hey, if they win this matchup though, you know, let's see if that's happening because I'm all for that as well. Astralis making a bit of a run here potentially. Yugi, he started off well on this pistol round, 3 kills. With a bit of a B burst coming in late. Device pushed back and Rez with a quick dink off of the Glock. There's a player with U2 at the back of the site. Snappy wants to actually get some value out of this, so he needs to stay alive, and that kill will provide him some time. Plopsky made at the face down to 30, and surely no way out of this one alive. Magix will finish things off, and yeah, Astralis will pick up the pistol round. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Harry? What are your thoughts on this current Astralis roster versus NIP? I want to hear you deep dive this one.
Yeah, you know, I think NIP, they've... see, like, both of these teams, like, I think with NIP, you know, obviously they're planning for the future, right? And that's the reason they removed Letcro. But I think we have seen, like, a bit of a hit to their performance as a team since that decision's come in. They're playing the long game. And Astralis, like I've said, man, it just feels like a very unfortunate situation and one that I find to be, like, a little bit saddening, honestly, when you look at this squad.
Yeah.
As to who I think wins this game, yeah, I think NIP should be the ones to take it, right? Like, especially because you're going up against a wounded Astralis who haven't been looking anything like their old selves and probably won't for like the duration of this kind of 3-man core left hanging around. So, yeah, I think if NIP don't take this and Astralis are able to walk away with the victory, that is a much bigger blow to NIP than it would be if it's the other way around. So I think the pressure is on NIP a little more than it is the Danes in this situation.
Well, when they played Train just the other day, I mean, that was a game that NIP won as well, right? They started on the CT side and went 9-6 up, and then Astralis only were able to get 1 CT round in the entire game in that second half. So, yeah, we're already seeing a positive change for Astralis in terms of winning the pistol round. Now, obviously, that doesn't really guarantee you those conversions. Not in 2020, boys. NIP, they've gone for a hell of a force. 2 AKs, a Scout, 2 Deegs on the players who dropped those primary weapons, but Dupree, he might be finding one of them hidden in the pop dog. Quick flash for Yugi. There's Dupree going, and they're so blind. They can't do anything but die. Plopsky will fall in for the trade, but, you know, retrieving the bomb and getting 1 kill right back is something for NIP, but it's come at a cost.
They try and smoke off Yugi. They're going to try and wrap around him here. And Rez sneaking on up. No one looking this way. And finally, the player on the bomb train tries. That's Magisk getting shut out of the round. Nork here with his scout as well, and Yugi caught looking the wrong way. There's 2 players over here towards the back of Ivy, and there's a CT wrap coming through from Snappy, which at least deals with Nork, but a bomb plant is still going to come on in. And you're into this now, 1v2, now 1v1, and Plopsky's able to hold down the bomb site. Of course he is. NIP, they respond with that force buy there and then, and Plopsky puts up 4 kills in it to find this round for NIP.
The hero AKs, man, they're just so good. And the fact that Dupree gets that massive double opener, but of course it's on the 2 pistol players, the 2 that don't really have anything to play with. And that's exactly what NIP wanted if they were going to lose to. Device, he was behind that smoke. He could have stopped the bomb plant with 10 seconds. Of course, you know, not really his fault. I would understand why he doesn't want to push through a smoke into a bomb site. You know, they should have been cover there, but I'm pretty sure the player was preoccupied with the man coming down from the backtrack. So yeah, there's a world where Device can win that round off of that push. Instead, he comes in to try and trade, but NIP were ready for it. Plopsky, big round from him. Look at NIP reaping the rewards. Astralis, on the other hand, Deagles and an MP9 on Dupree. No flashbang to pop him ladder side this time, and so Astralis just have to wait in the outer yard for NIP to come to them. This is quite a default for NIP. Very sweaty in the 3rd round. We got 2 players late hauls. We got a couple in main. We got 1 holding T-spawn looking at Ivy. NIP are just making sure every area of the map is denied in terms of Astralis trying to control it. Apart from the pop dog, that's the one place that dupreeh has. He also has a timing. He thinks, trying to climb up the ladder, walks to his death. Plopsky's waiting above, and now NIP with that kill, they might just be tempted to take this yard. A second kill is only going to push them further, and Astralis are already rotating their B players off the site.
Well, Magisk has got to do a lot here with his Eagle inside of the site. And when he does find the first man, it gets traded by Rez. And with that kill, you know, any danger of this round falling apart for NIP is pretty much out the window. Device and Snappy probably just going to try and hold on to these Deags and armor. And that's really the best they can do in this situation. So NIP, they'll come in and they'll get that conversion. They overwhelm the force bite from Astralis. And now they're set up to go 3-1 up early on here on Train.
Worth noting for a bit of context, when we started this online season at the start of the year with Pro League, it was one of our opening games. I think it maybe was our opening game of Pro League was NIP Astralis, and obviously it was full Astralis lineup and NIP with Letcro at the time. But NIP took a very convincing 2-0 victory there, dropping 14 rounds in the entire best of 3 series. So yeah, that's something to note. Obviously, I feel like, you know, from our test of that game, it seemed like Astralis were just trying to get used to online, right? It was their first online game in some time, and they were struggling there. But yeah, Astralis certainly turned it around in that season of EPL somewhat. But worth noting that we know NIP can win this game. We know they can beat Astralis. Right? Matthew made a joke about how, you know, if NIP were going to win a game versus Astralis, this could be it. And you just wouldn't look at the lineups. No one's going to ask you. But I mean, they've won the harder battle before, so this should certainly be attainable as well. Right now, they're in control, 2-1 with Astralis on an eco. This one Deagle armor for Device and nothing else to play with.
Yeah, this should be a pretty clean-cut round for NIP, right? They're just going to take it nice and slow. They've got players in Ivy, they've got dudes in main. It's just getting past these pistols and not letting them get away with anything cheeky. And, you know, that can be pretty hard sometimes. We've seen these vanilla pistols sometimes get away with more than they should, but I don't think this is the round for it. And it doesn't look like it. So yeah, this is, you know, everyone knows what happens in these rounds, right? Oh, maybe not. Maybe dupreeh's like, nah, I'm not a fan of, you know, keeping it standard. He just shuts down 2 with a USP, makes it look casual. But it's all left Snappy in this 1v3. Oh, is that interesting article? The Snappy's going to Contact Gaming. I don't know if you saw that, Hugo.
I did.
He's got on quite the adventure to do with rosters as of late as Snappy, you know?
Is Snappy signed to Tiger right now? Because as far as I last heard, he was signed to Tiger and loaned to Astralis, but I don't actually know if that's 100% true, not gonna lie. So yeah, it's just a very weird situation. Honestly, I was super excited for the concept of Smooya and Snappy going over to China to play in that Mongolian roster. I think that would have been really cool, but obviously that fell apart. Hey, Snappy and Contact's a nice idea as well. But yeah, I mean, these are big boots to fill for Snappy and Yugi inside of this team, right? Like, we know that the core of Astralis, Device, Majestic, dupreeh, these players are all incredible, but, you know, even looking away from the individual performance of Yugi and Snappy, it's just very hard to fit the shoes that were Glaive and Simpex to any degree. NIP, they're going to pop B here. They're going to burst it. There's 2 players on the site, and they're playing close up as well. Snappy is just moved into position by the coils. This is perfect. NIP, they're going to have to spam this one if they want to clear him out before he gets away with a kill. He'll certainly get one. The spam comes in late. He swings with a double bomb drop, going for a third, and Snappy shuts them all down on this B bomb site. He's still alive. Not for long. Rez got very deep, and he's able to cut off rotations. Now, Nork is holding the flank, but if he hurries up and regroups with his teammate, he could try and plant the bomb, but he's preoccupied with dupreeh on this back line. This is a very weird round for NIP, but they're still in this one.
Yeah, I like this decision from Nork. I think, actually, maybe. I was going to say, he might be the man to go back and grab this bomb and allow Rez to keep this aggressive stance in the site.
Ooh.
But that isn't how it's gone down. Rez actually gets bested immediately by Magisk. Now this leaves Nork in a bit of an awkward 1v3. A flash high to try and find a peek, try and find some safety, but doing so leaves them in the firing line of Magisk. So they do manage to find the defuse here on the Astralis side. Snappy with a nice stellar 3k to hold down the B-bomb site. Magisk helping out in the retake. And Astralis swiftly respond with a second round on the board. Might have been a bit of a different round if Nork hadn't been spotted in those upper halls, right? It kind of gave the two players that were retaking almost, even though there wasn't the bomb planted yet, a bit more freedom to move, knowing that at worst there's only one man inside of this bomb site. So
and you could
kind of falls apart from that point on in for NIP.
You can see Astralis like react off of that info, right? As soon as dupreeh gets that knowledge that Nork is still hidden in the back, Yugi throws a great flash for Magis, and he finds Rez pushed in the site, the only man in B, like you said. So Astralis, they play off that information very well, and they put themselves back in control of the money, at least temporarily. Hampus, sneaky devil, he has gotten right behind Magis and hidden in the E-box smoke. He'll find a kill. There are so many more players here, though. Hampus can't double it. Yugi swings out as a smoke fades and will find the trade, keeping things back in a 4-on-4 with damage done. But there are still more players from NIP looking for kills. Twist being one of them. Big kill onto Yugi. Also knows a player was back green, who's now crossed to the top. Twist is trying to molly him out, but instead he's getting pushed from above by dupreeh, who definitely can lay down some fire from the top side. Nork hasn't figured that out, and he finally will. It's going to be surely an NIP round at this point. Snappy is already sneaking back into the doldrums as NIP get the plant in. 4 rounds looking like a lock-in here on this T side. Astralis, they're only going to have this gun in that follow-up round unless Yugi wants to throw all of his money in for a second rifle. Might just save for AWP though, considering we're early days and Astralis' economy. They get it for 1 round, and as soon as it comes, it tumbles right back down to nothing.
They know that Snappy's back here in CT, and they look fairly keen to hunt him down. But at the same time, you don't want to just ruin your own economy on the back of overextending into Snappy here. Plopsky, is he going to go through? No, he decides against it, and that's probably the safe decision to make with Snappy just holding on to this position. Oh, that's rough, man. Yeah. Yugi never even sees an enemy. That really sucks for Yugi there. And actually, Astralis are going to go for the force buy. Snappy dropping an M4 into play. Yugi, as you said, he had a bit of residual cash. He was able to invest into an M4. Famus on device. This buy isn't that bad for Astralis. Definitely something they can look to do damage with at the very, very least. Magisk has got that in high supply. He finds the first kill onto Hampus, and now that's an AK dropped as well. To make matters a little bit sweeter here for the Astralis side.
Yeah, the danger of obviously this buy is the lack of util as well as the lack of AWP, and we've been seeing NIP push through that main smoke pretty much every time. Hampus does it there, and if it's a molly, then obviously there's no way he gets through, but if anything, Hampus pushing the smoke works for Astralis in this round. It hasn't in the past, however. Good trade from Magis, not letting Plopsky get out alive after he drops dupreeh pop side, and that will be replaced by device. Magis still low as he engages in battles towards main. You might want to fall out of this one, but it's very difficult to retreat from the sandwich. He does find a gap, it does find a timing, and NIP have had enough with this A site. They're going to take the bomb back through the halls where Rez is already sitting. Only one inner player in the form of Snappy, saved in the last round, wants to actually have some gameplay in this, and it seems like that's going to be coming his way. No rotations here, but Astralis do have a pop flank available for device if he wants to do it, and I think he's considering it at the bare minimum. So here's the B play. Nice rotate from Magis right here at the right time.
Yeah, and Snappy's been doing a great job at this B bomb site, right? Top in the Astralis side right now, maybe even top of the server. But as I'm bigging him up, he gets shut down by the AWP. Nork's going to follow up as well, but he is left in a bit of an awkward 1v2, and he wasn't ready for device just barreling into the bomb site like that.
Yeah, you just see that so much, man. You see, like we talked about it yesterday, Harry, sorry to interrupt you, but, you know, so many teams plant default and get aggressive, which obviously, you know, it's fine. But if you do lose the flank, especially in those 2-on-2s, this comes back to hurt teams more often than not. You'll plant default, you'll get aggressive, you'll lose the man on the site, and then, you know, Nork is there. What can Nork even do? He's just stuck. He doesn't know where that second player is. He knows he's being flanked. He knows, you know, either there's a double flank or there's one coming con or CT. Like, you're just stuck, and you can't go anywhere if you want to play that bomb. You have to stay on the site or in the halls, and those are not good positions really for a post plant unless you have a Molotov. So yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see some kind of change in approach to how we plant on that B bomb site for Tees. I'd love to see people prioritize planting open or on other sides of the bomb site in the future. I feel like we don't get that nearly enough, and that is often why we see the train B bomb site be the quote-unquote easiest site in the game to retake, because these often get left too deep.
That's where I think a team like Fnatic do some cool stuff at this B site, right? Like we've seen them where they plant for like connector site, and then they send Flusher around through Pop Dog, for example, on like these late flanks. We saw that the other day. So yeah, I agree, Hugo. I think that's something that we're starting to see more and more of. Now in this round, dupreeh and Device, two of the vintage men of this Astralis squad, have picked up early man advantages, and these have gone untraded. There's not really much that NIP can do about it. They're going to try and get out in through IB. Yugi's been sat here patiently waiting.
Oh, no.
Well, I say, yeah, patience is a virtue, but Nork, he's going to show that he's a man of action. And while all this is going on, we got some action men of Astralis' own brand. They're getting up in through the halls and pushing into the back line here, wrapping around in through T-Spawn. They've been silent on this approach, so Nork and Hampus have got no idea. Astralis are right behind them, and Device is just buying time in the bomb site. The longer he can stay alive for this wrap to come through, the better. And there it is. It executes Hampus. Nork, 1v3, does deal with the first man in Device. But is he going to be ready for a double flank?
Dear.
That's the problem, right? Like, dupreeh's there, but you don't know the whereabouts of Snappy. And so Nork's just going to get shot in the back. Astralis, they're going to find that fourth round. They get it on the board. They tie this game up. And it's dupreeh and Device delivering everything there for the Dades.
Yeah, I like the idea there as well for dupreeh, right? As he's hunting down that final kill, as he's chasing Nork on the site for the plant, Snappy is main, it's tucked, hidden, not peeking anything. And that's a really good call for Astralis, because if dupreeh is being baited, if Nork is trying to fake a plant or just get an engagement and he kills dupreeh, there's no way, firstly, that he knows where Snappy is. And as a result, he can't trade. And Snappy wins the round via time. So Astralis planning for every contingency, not letting NIP get away with a cheese round. Magis pushed Ivy, great grenade, and follows up with some spam as well. 2 kills, maybe a third. These pistols are getting ruined in this round, and as they should be. It's Glocks mainly, so no real problem for Astralis. Looking like a flawless one. The flash not going to really do too much, but the bullets certainly will. Astralis up to 5-4 with 5 alive as well. They're back in control, Harry. This is definitely boding well. Like said earlier, Astralis only able to put up 1 CT defensive round against NIP last time they played this map. So they've already 5 times that and seem to be starting off on the right foot.
Yeah, I want to see NIP keep abusing this Ivy position. I feel like they've been getting a lot of ground towards Ivy, and in this round, they share a sentiment that this A site is where they want to end up, but they just go fast out through main. It's a complete change of pace, and Astralis, they were not ready for this kind of change. Device will come in with a kill, but he's getting wrapped by Nork, and Yugi on the other side of this smoke, not able to keep an eye on his AWPing teammate. And yeah, he's going to get dropped as well. So NIP, they switch things up. They just go fast in towards that A site with some utility going down towards Ivy. They lock the AWP out of it. They isolate Yugi. They just trap him. Like, he never even gets to really play into the round. He's just stuck on the other side of the Ivy smoke. And yeah, the sheer pace there. A real change. Blindsides Astralis. Now, the reinvestment's going to come on through for the Danes. They still have a little bit of cash, but you'll see that that story of them having money is kind of coming to an end. If this round doesn't go their way, NIP can look to start to chain some rounds together again. And so once more, they're going to throw these A smokes up and over, one into Sandwich, one at E-Box, but this time they don't push fast behind it. And this hasn't really worked to give them like any kind of pressure here at A, because dupreeh is pushed into main. So he has this information that no one's come pushing in for NIP just yet. That can change, though, at a moment's notice, right? You can see NIP slowly but surely setting players up down towards Ivy. They actually decide against that now and start to group back up. So this is feeling like it could culminate in one of these B plays, perhaps, as you have Rez over here dropping his smoke down ramp. That actually looks like it's just a fake to keep those 2 players in the B bomb site. The rest of the guys that were down towards Ivy have grouped up, setting up these smokes into the A bomb site, and it's the same smokes they threw just moments ago. One going down towards Ivy, one to block off connector, and now they're going to try and push on the back of it. But this is where dupreeh, a man that we mentioned earlier on, aggressive in main, was hoping to make all the difference. Instead, it's Magisk having to hold down this bomb site. Device comes in on a rotation, and this leaves Twist before he's dealt with. Magisk, 3 kills in that round to find a 6 for Astralis, and that's a nice little response there to the kind of, I don't want to say same round again, because the pace is very, very different, but Astralis never fell for any of those fakes NIP tried to throw in.
Yeah, Magisk really bails them out because dupreeh has a great position, as you say, but he actually dies to the Pop Dog player. 2 of them swing E-Box and manage to kill him. So, like Astralis, they've had some problems in this game with not covering and not trading the kills, but Magisk really makes up for them in that round. I'm thinking back to that round where Yugi and Magisk are double Ivy, and Yugi turns from a flash, NIP swing off of it and kill Magisk. Like, there's nothing worse than when you think you're being covered by a teammate, and they look away for a brief moment, and that moment is your death. But not in that round. Magisk really doing all the work from the back of the trains. And now NIP, they've had enough. They're just going to hit in a crunch it with a low economy. It's probably the best call they can make in this round, and they'll do it early. But Astralis have been running double B all game long. Molly on the site, that's a great Molotov. Snappy is going to stall the bomb plant out, and he can get aggressive now. He hears them rushing him, though. Rez on the back line getting one, or going, Popsy getting one as Snappy finds Rez, and Hampus gets aggressive. This plant will eventually be put down by NIP, and Astralis are in for a retake with a solo orb as well. Kit on Yugi is available. NIP yet to give away the fact that they're deep in the site.
Hampus here could do a hell of a lot, as he's gone deep over here towards connector, and Magisk has just gone past him. Now the rest of Astralis have gotten into this bomb site, and so if Hampus is going to do anything, it kind of needs to be now. Never mind, Twist has taken matters into his own hands, but they are on the bomb. Oh, there's another kill from Twist. And dupreeh gets finished off at the very, very end by Hampus wrapping back round. Twist just bailed them out of all kinds of trouble there, because, you know, even though Hampus gets that sick little flank off, it doesn't matter if the bomb's just getting defused back in the site. Now, it did feel like a bit of a mystery, because dupreeh, I think, was on the bomb as Yugi dies in that smoke, and he gets off of it to try and deal with Hampus wrapping round.
Yeah,
but maybe if he'd stuck that, they would have had it, because, you know, I think Twist believed he'd killed the guy defusing the bomb when he shot Yugi.
Yeah, Yugi had the only kit, though, so dupreeh has to, you know, if he wants the 5-second stick, he has to get off and pick it up off of Yugi's body. That requires him to move, so at that point, he knows Hampus is coming. Yeah, I thought that was a very weird round, like, obviously bailed out by Twist, but, you know, Hampus, when he's deep con, he drops a right-click flash that, like, gives away his position to Astralis, who are by the connector, and Astralis, they actually make a really good call. They go, forget him, and they just push oil and kill the players on the site. They leave Hampus in the back line, going back to that problem that we often talk about, you know, with retaking. And, you know, Twist doesn't hit those shots. Yeah, Astralis just stick the bomb, and Hampus is in connector. There's nothing he can do. So, yeah, shout out to Twist in that round. But very weird one. Definitely a very weird one. This game has been exciting, though. NIP now taking the lead away from Astralis, who were once in control of the economy and rounds. Well, they're not in control of either right now. Saving on an eco round for the last of the half is going to leave them with very little. Upgrading their armor, buying some grenades, and getting those kits, hopefully, is going to be a mainstay for that last round of the half. So a bit of a breather now for Astralis, and there's a good chance NIP go 9-6 up on this T side.
Oh, it's looking like a fast play in towards this A bomb site. Smokes go down, players over here towards Pop, and actually